Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tesro Update. Um, we've got quite a few things to talk about this week, so grab a drink and let's jump right into it. Let's start with the big update for this week in terms of the number of things we got. So we got resupplied of Lapua, both components and the center fire ammunition. Um, we got a couple of things that in particular I wanted to highlight. We got some 223 Remington brass, which has been quite hard to get for a while. So really happy to finally have some of it in, and also some of the 300 PRC brass from Lapua. So those were quite excited to get some more in. Um, the other things that we got, pretty much almost all of the centerfire ammunition has been restocked, including some of the new products. At least new to us. They're not necessarily new to Lapua, but they're first time that we got these in. The one that's really interesting is some of the higher velocity 6.5 by 55 Swedish. That's kind of one of the things that a lot of people sort of desire a little bit in that 6.5 or 55 Swedish. It's a really popular cartridge. Lots of really accurate rifles out there, and a lot of folks like to shoot factory loads, or even to reload their own. But one of the things that was kind of lacking a little bit with the factory loads is a little bit extra velocity. So we finally got in some of the newer stuff from Lapua that has a faster velocity. So just as an example, there is a 108 grain 108 grain CNARs that are at 2,950 feet per second. There's also ones loaded with 100 grain CNAR with 100 grain FMJs with 2,700 feet per second, so maybe not as fast. There's also 123 grain with 3,015 feet per second, and then 120 grain with 27 feet per second, 2,700 feet per second. And the last but not the least, actually, is 120 grain CNAR L with just over 3,000 feet per second. And there's a couple of other ones. There's a couple of other ones as well. They're all up on our website. But this is pretty exciting. The guys that shoot 6.5 or 55 Swedish, they're going to be quite happy with these new options. They just give them a little bit more velocity, so be able to shoot a little bit longer range and get a little bit better ballistics on it. The other new thing that we got is the sort of upgraded 308 cartridge. So there's a bullet from Lapua. It's called D46. It's a 185 grain boat tail bullet. It's been around for quite a long time. It's kind of one of the classic bullets from Lapua, and it's now being loaded again in a 308. So it's 308, 185 grain. Muzzle velocity around 2,500 feet per second. We also got some new 6.5 by 47 in 120 grain. 120 grain CNAR L, and as I said, we restocked most of the other centerfire ammo from Lapua, including 260 Remington, 762 by 39, 338 Lapua, of course. It's Lapua's cartridge, so that one's always popular. We're not going to say most of the brass has been restocked, but some of the harder that are increasingly becoming harder to get, like 22 250, 260 as well. So those have been restocked. We do still have some. Those are going to be harder and harder to get. And if you watch one of the previous videos, Lapua has kind of halted production, a whole bunch of a small primer brass for next couple of years. So now is probably a good time to kind of plan for those shortages that are going to occur imminently, sort of thing. We got a little bit of powder, just some N170. So if you're kind of it's more of a magnum powder. It's a little bit on a sort of a slower end and a little bit of higher energy in terms of what you can reload with it. But if you're using 570 or 565, 568, 170 is probably going to work as well. It's going to be probably a little bit more temperature stable than say 500 range powders, because they're a little bit they're multi-compound. All 100 powders are single compound, so a little bit more temperature stable. And then since we talked about Lapua, we got an update on the next shipment of the components coming from Europe. Looks like it's going to be late spring. So everybody is kind of thinking about the things that we don't have, or things that are kind of hard to get. Probably next big shipments coming from Europe is going to be around, not before. We were told not before April sometime. We did get some Anschutz rifles in. I do have one here. I'm going to show a little bit later in the video. Another thing we wanted to highlight is that we did get a restock from MDT, a whole bunch of small things, a couple of new things as well. We got some Baker wings for the ACC chassis, also ACC rubber dampeners. Those have been kind of things that quite a few people have been anticipating, and we've heard from a lot of people they're waiting for these. We got some internal MDT internal one-piece weights for ACC chassis, and some Picatinny scope bases for CZ457. In particular, we got some 40 and 50 MOA. I think the 40 MOA is actually already sold out, but some 50 MOAs are still available. And last but not the least, some M-Lock exterior fore-end weights as well. I forgot what the weight is for each of those. We're still waiting for some of the other goodies from MDT that we're pretty excited to get and use them for our build, especially the wood kit for the XRS. And as soon as those come in, we're gonna add them to some of our builds, because I think they're gonna look pretty nice. So next, I wanted to talk about something we're quite excited and we really like to do is our in-house builds. We have four new builds that are 457 and XRS chassis based. The difference between them are the type of barrel that they have, and whether they will have a muzzle brake or not. So we started doing them with the Spearhead Machining muzzle brakes, and these look quite nice. They're up on our website. You can find them either in just arrived, or if you go under the small bore rifles for the in-house builds. Actually, I should have gotten one to show you guys. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do a video on those if we still have them. But we really like the look especially with the Spearhead, with the muzzle brake. It kind of extends the barrel look. It gives it sort of a nicer balance. As you know, for small bore, the brake doesn't really necessarily do much in terms of brake. I mean, it's 22, but it does add to aesthetic quite a bit, and a lot of guys are quite excited, including us, about how that looks. So let's talk about Anschutz, actually, since I have it here. I'm going to keep glancing over. I wanted to show you. So this is not a new to us, but it's we only get few of these every once in a while. This is a 1710 in the ACC chassis. So this one is in I think it's called dark gray or charcoal. It looks like a charcoal gray, but I forgot the actual name of the MDT ACC color for this. So it's a full-on ACC chassis, and comes with the 1710 Anschutz barreled action inside. So for those of you that are not familiar with the 1710 is based on a match 54. So those of you that might be familiar with the 1913 or Supermatch, it's basically same base Anschutz barreled action, but this one is in repeater version. It also comes updated with the extended mag release. I popped up mag just for safety. Although this particular rifle is sort of new, the 1710 and the action this is based on has been around for a very long time. For those of you that might be familiar with Anschutz, you will know this action is kind of a true tried and tested. Has won many Olympic medals. The single action, sorry, the single shot version of it, and the repeater kind of has come and gone from Anschutz repertoire, and in the last decade or so, since there's been a little bit more demand on a repeater type of 22 rifles, Anschutz has brought back these in and started packaging them in a couple of different combinations. So this one comes with a 23-inch chromoly Anschutz barrel. It's a full cylinder, so essentially Anschutz equivalent of a varmint barrel. If you're talking about some of the other manufacturers, Anschutz just calls it HB or heavy barrel, but basically that means it's a full cylinder. This one is not doesn't have a cut for the break or anything, so it's not threaded. It's basically straight through barrel. Comes with as it is very common with European actions, it comes with 11mm dovetail, but it is tapped for mounting a pick rail, and there's an MDT rail that bolts right onto it. It actually fits quite nicely. Comes with the Anschutz 10-shot mag, otherwise it's a ACC chassis. It's a full-on ACC chassis as it comes from MDT, just cut for this particular action. So we do really like these rifles. As I said, we don't get that many of them, but when we do, we do lust over them quite a bit. We're probably going to be talking about Anschutz again in a month or so. We do know that they have some sort of announcement that they were kind of keeping under covers for EVA, and we're going to see them at EVA in 2 weeks. So we're very curious to see what it is. I sort of have my guesses of what it is, but we'll see. I don't want to gamble. I might be completely wrong. Put that away. So a couple other things that are coming up. We do have some small bore ammo coming in, and it's something that we don't actually don't get very often, and in the past we haven't been able to secure sort of consistent supplies of it. So we're quite excited to get it in and test it and see how it performs. So we'll be getting a bunch of RWS and Gecko ammunition. RWS is sort of one of the big three. So together with Lapua SK and Ely, RWS is one of the top three in terms of the quality, at least one of the top three top tier manufacturers of small bore ammunition. And those of you that know, RWS would have something like R50, R100, special match, target rifle. We have been getting in the past, and it's been quite popular, and we have been putting in our samplers. So we should be getting some more RWS ammunition within next week or so, and we'll post an update once it's here. And also with that, we'll be getting some Gecko, which is sort of a Gecko to RWS is somewhat what SK is to Lapua. So it's kind of more like a club level mid-range ammunition. I believe it's made in the same factory, which is just outside of Nuremberg. We never had any before, so we're quite curious to see how is it going to perform and how the quality is going to be. I think the price is going to be sort of a SK price level or maybe lower. So from the price point, it's going to be quite attractive, but we'll see how the performance is, of course. The other thing that's coming in is we have more Tony Systems goodies coming in. Tony System is Italian company that makes a lot of aftermarket parts for handguns, shotguns, as well as AR rifles and other types of firearms. We're going to be bringing some of the handgun upgrades, especially their optics mounts are really good and really popular. We run them on our pistols, so we quite like them. And they're even used. They even make a drop-in mounts for optics ready. Optics ready cutouts for the uppers for some of the manufacturers. So we'll be starting to bring those in very soon. As well as some sort of aftermarket upgrades like grips and mag wells and magazine bases and whatnot. We have an update from Ely Ammunition as well. Supposedly, we will be receiving something in Canada. Will be arriving sometime in March, April. March is actually not that far away. Just looking at the date, we're looking at less than 2 weeks, but maybe more like a late March, April. We should be seeing some Ely ammunition arriving. So that's pretty exciting. Hopefully, we'll get all the popular stuff from Ely back in stock, and of course, we'll give you an update on that. Another update is about brand 2s, the non-restricted brand 2s. So with brands, there's restricted versions which you can get now. We decided not to carry it. There's quite a few other retailers that carry it. However, we do plan to carry, and we did have a pre-orders for the brand 2 non-restricted, which comes with a longer barrel, which makes it non-restricted, which just of course makes it very, very attractive as a semi-auto rifle. Looks like we're looking more at the third quarter of 2023. I know they were originally planned for the spring. And things were up in the air with the C21. How is it going to go? Looks like these will be not on the list, at least for next foreseeable future. So it's pretty exciting that we're going to be able to get these in, and they're not going to be on a prohibited list. Just a matter of time when are we going to get them in. So fingers crossed that actually they do arrive this year, because we would really love to see some in. Another couple of things coming up. I will be visiting IWA or EVA, which is sort of a European equivalent of a SHOT Show. So that's the first week of March. So I'm kind of making my list of booths that I'd like to visit, because it's a pretty big show, just like SHOT Show. You can kind of easily get carried away and lost in there, but so we'll be posting updates after the show as well. And if you guys have anything that you think is worth for me to check out, drop me a note, and I'd love to hear about it as well. I think that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday or Wednesday on some weeks when we're a little bit behind. You can subscribe right off of our website. If you need to get in touch with us, you can reach us via email at info@tesro.ca, by phone number 613-729-8059. You can click a contact form on our website, and our website, of course, is www.tesro.ca. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a good rest of the day. Bye for now.